I'm putting Big Soso and Otega in charge of the kitchen. I am not done. Isabella, listen to me. If you have a problem with it, go and bang the bell and talk to Big Brother.
People have to be in charge.
I'm not done, guys.
We can do so, but we can't all be speaking over each other.
ISIMI and Isabella are not listening for them to understand. Rather, they are listening for them to just argue. They kept on arguing. They kept on opposing while they are shouting. At a point, Doris, being the deputy head of the house, have to say, it's okay for you not to agree with what the head of the house say, but you cannot just be shouting. If you have an opinion, just indicate by raising up your hand. At that moment, the head of the house, being Jason J, just have to explode. I beg you, don't do. Whatever I say is final. I beg una no read the rule book. The rule book said that whatever the head of the house said is final.
The floor says, you want to the floor said, I will pack on the food and keep it upstairs there. Then let us be eating upstairs.
You know the house is full. There are 29 in number. So most people are just trying to separate the fight. Some are trying to explain further for ISIMI and Isabella, whereas some are just relaxed, being entertained with the drama. And prior to the fight that happened between Isabella, ISIMI, and head of the house, Jason J, Isabella has already fought with another housemate. And the reason is this: she was complaining that the housemate used to take the food upstairs, and she is insisting that nobody should just eat upstairs because we have a dining. So if anybody choose to do so, then everybody will just start doing that. At a point, she left the kitchen. She now came towards the person and she kept on complaining, but Ibila said the person she's just trying to fight with is not ready to reciprocate. And yes, Jason J is the new head of the house for week 1, but it is not concluded yet because Ebuka said that if you win the head of the house challenge, today being Monday, you are certainly going to again fight over it on head of the house challenger. But as it is now, Jason J is the head of the house and he selected Doris to be his deputy, and they have already gone into the head of the house lounge for them to see how it looks. Welcome back again to my beautiful channel, First Award. You are good to source for latest gossip, trend, glam news and entertainment. This is the only channel that brings to you premium authentic gist and updates of the ongoing Big Brother Naija season 10, 10/10, and also all the hardest day to the second, minute to minute happenstance that got everyone talking. Be it shifts, fights, drama, cuddling, missing of the condoms, or even everyday trends on social media. Therefore, stay tuned, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Please do not skip the ads for you to be entertained with juicy details that you won't want to miss. Immediately, Ebuka ended the live show. Big Brother voice echoed, told them that they are welcomed into Biggie's house and the garden doors may now be opened. They went outside, they carried their bag upstairs while the guys are trying to unpack. Big Brother voice echoed again, telling them that they just have 30 minutes for them to get ready for the head of the house challenge. While most of them are still trying to get to know each other, Big Brother told them to just move to the arena in readiness for them to play the head of the house challenge. The entire housemate moved to the arena as instructed by Big Brother. It is time for them to participate in the head of the house challenge. Every other housemate participated and some fell out. I think it's just slashed down to number 10 and they just have to carry out with another challenge, and that was how Jason J was declared the head of the house. And he was asked by Big Brother to select his deputy, and he chose Doris. Everybody clapped. They now returned back into the Elzo, and they just trying to just prepare something to eat. I saw Isabella cooking. I saw ISIMI cooking. I also saw Big Soso looking at that kitchen. The housemates in there are too much. I have to do head count. I think they are even up to 12 or 15. And that was the moment Isabella exploded. I don't even know who she is just addressing. She now said that the entire housemate should stop taking the food upstairs. She said that is how they are going to invite ants or even rats. She said if they continue, that she's certainly going to just do that. Isabella said there is a dining in Biggie's house. Why would somebody opt to just eat upstairs? And she was just exploding. She would just go to the kitchen while she's just busy shouting. She would return back again to continue shouting. But I genuinely don't even know who she is even referring to. Then I am suspecting maybe she is referring to IB Ifubara or maybe Thelma Lawson. And at a point, IB Ifubara now said, I love this particular drama. She now went upstairs. Isabella continued. That was the moment the head of the house now called every other person at the lounge. He said it is time for him to just climb his head of the house chair. He now said that they're certainly going to sing a particular song for him. And while they are singing the song, he climbed the head of the house chair. He now asked the rude boy for him to conduct as they're just going to introduce each other to themselves. Rude boy said they are going to do it according to how they are seated. Every other person will stand up. They will just come and tell their fellow housemates who they are, what they do, and if they are single. Rude boy will instantly ask anybody that wants to just introduce him or herself, are you single? Most of them are all saying that they are single, and they said they are ready to mingle. When it was the time of Bright Morgan, who have already told us that he is in a relationship, he even did not say anything concerning his status. When it was the time of Sabrina said that she is single, but she's ready to mingle, but you just have to meet up to a certain criteria. And every other person continues saying that they are single. When it gets to the turn of Big Soso said that she is taken, that she's not ready to mingle with anybody. Thelma Lawson said that she is single and she is ready to just cuddle up with anybody under the duvet in case you just want her to just rest her head on your shoulder. But she said that whatever you people are doing, once you just go outside. Thelma Lawson said that she's certainly going to do her own background check. At the end of all this introduction, I got to realize that Faith schooled in Georgia. Faith, who is a medical doctor, can speak 3 languages. He said he can speak Georgia, Yoruba, and English. Keyikumi is a prince. He also said that he can speak 3 languages, German, Yoruba, and English. And Ifata is 44 years. Of course, I believe her because she has an 18-year-old daughter. And after all the introduction, it is time for the head of the house, Jason J, to just round up. And he now introduced himself. He also said that he is single and ready to mingle. That was the point. He now said that he's not going to allow multiple people at the time in the kitchen. He now said that they have limited resources, and for them to just get more food, they are certainly going to win their wager, which everybody knows, right? He now said because of that, he is just going to put Ortega and Big Soso in charge of the kitchen. While the head of the house, Jason J, was just trying to buttress his reason for saying that Ortega and Big Soso is going to be in charge of the kitchen, Imisi and Isabella said, no. They exploded immediately. Imisi was just pointing fingers. She was just throwing hands. It cannot happen. Nobody is certainly going to tell her when to eat, how to eat, and when to cook. And Isabella walked up to the head of the house and was like, no. You are not going to just do this. How can you say that before I eat, I just have to go and meet Ortega or Big Soso? No, they kept on shouting. Head of the house was like, can I just land? Allow me to explain. They refused to even allow the head of the house. Even at a point, Ortega went to meet Isabella, understand what they are trying to say. Isabella said no. She threw her own hands too. I think it was Bright Morgan that also went to meet Imisi. Imisi said, I'm not going to have that though. No, what do you mean? How do you mean? Doris, who was already taking her bed upstairs, dressed up, came downstairs and was like, what is happening? No, I cannot just have this. If you want to say anything, it's okay if you have an opinion. It's okay if you want to counter what the head of the house is saying. Can you just people just do that rightly? Yes, you can indicate by raising up your hand. We are not just going to have that. When Doris was just done talking, Isabella did not even adhere to that. Neither did Imisi even want to hear her. They kept on arguing. They kept on interjecting. They kept on insisting, whenever I want to cook, I will cook. Nobody's just going to do the cooking for me. And yes, it escalated quickly because Imisi was just shouting at the top of her voices. At that point, head of the house exploded. I am certainly not going to have this. Do you people know read on our rule book? It says that whatever the head of the house says is final. They kept on interjecting. Head of the house is just trying to just register his points. They are not just having it. At the point, the entire housemate scattered. Some even went upstairs. At this point, I was like, Imisi and Isabella are just intentional. Is it that they do not even understand what the head of the house just said? He said Ortega and Big Soso are going to be in charge of the kitchen, not just the food. Maybe Imisi understood. She just wanted to just stand on the existing protocol for her to just register her drama. Oh well, they scattered. Going upstairs, I overheard Mide telling Didi and Ibifubara that these people are just trying to create unnecessary drama. And that was when head of the house, Jessinji, went to meet Big Brother in the diary room. Coming back, camera now followed Jessinji and Doris. They have gone to just see the head of the house lounge, and it is as beautiful as last season. And they were just so happy. They love the bed, they love the upstairs, they love everything. That was when Doris decided to explain exactly what was happening to head of the house, Jessinji. According to Doris, that when they came into the house, there was a plantain. But before the guys will even come in, the girls have already finished the plantain. Doris finished Imisi. She said that Imisi is just too low for her to understand exactly what the head of the house said. And according to Doris, that somebody, or should it be Imisi, fried plantain, and up until now the person has left oil in the frying pan. That she has said it multiple times, that the person should just pour the oil in a container and just address it as used oil so that the person can't reuse it. But no, the person left the oil in the frying pan. Doris told head of the house, Jessinji, that she's the one that does the cooking in her own house, but for the fact that she's in Biggie's house and she is sharing space with every other person, that she's certainly going to adhere to the rule. Why Doris at head of the house, Jessinji, we're having that conversation in head of the house lounge, Doris said she's certainly going to explain to Imisi exactly what head of the house mean. Head of the house said, no, I am going to be the one to have the conversation with Imisi. And they both left head of the house lounge. Returning back into the lounge, I forgot to just mention that while all that warrior was happening between Imisi, Isabella, and head of the house, it was just the reaction of Big Suso for me. She was just supporting her chin with her both palms. I don't think she's just even scared of the drama, but she's just wanting to understand why what the head of the house said is the reason Imisi and Isabella are just both shouting. Returning back into the lounge, head of the house, Jessinji, called the attention of Imisi. They were seen trying to address what was said earlier. Do you know that Imisi is not even allowing head of the house to speak? Head of the house wanted to explain, and she was already countering. Before head of the house would drop a word, Imisi would just dive into that word and was just trying to escalate, and she was just creating unnecessary drama. At that point, Bright Morgan and Ortega joined them. Now, Ortega is trying to explain. Just imagine that we have 5 fishes. And you know we're 29 in number. Imisi interjected. Why would somebody even finish the 5 fishes? Why would somebody cook with 5 fishes? Me, I cannot even cook with 5 fishes. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, my Yoruba girl, you know I love pepper. So how can I just cook for everybody? And now there is no pepper. Or maybe I cook with plenty pepper. Now, how do you expect people that don't like pepper to just eat? Head of the house was like, yes, I understood your point. Now, let me just explain what I mean by saying that for you to go to the kitchen, you just have to meet Ortega and Big Suso. Imisi said, no, that is what I'm saying. You know what? All of us have hands. You know what? All of us are equal here. Therefore, I'm not going to take permission from anybody for me to just go and cook. Ortega now came in, and they're just trying to explain to Imisi, hey, Imisi is not just even understanding, or rather, she refused to allow them to explain. Head of the house was like, okay, I've heard you. You have registered your points. Now, allow me to just talk. And Imisi said, okay, talk. I want to listen. And immediately head of the house wanted to say a word. Imisi interjected immediately. At that point, head of the house was visibly tired, and he's just trying not to explode for the second time. He was just there looking at Imisi. At that point, camera shifted. That was when I noticed that Bright Morgan has been following Joanna. No big person went talk say in there already they miss in girlfriend. And I forgot to also say that Doris told head of the house, Jessinji, that people are already arguing or like saying, why should it be Doris that Jessinji would have choose to be his deputy head of the house? And Jessinji told Doris that he has 3 people in mind, 2 ladies and a guy. Head of the house said while he weighed his option, he now chose to just select Doris. Well, the fight was not absolutely resolved, or maybe the camera was not on them for them to resolve it. And I love the fact that the entire housemate did not even went to bed on time. They all gathered in the lounge and they were just busy playing games. At a point, most of them started going upstairs. Even me, I dozed off. Then I woke up again. I noticed that none of them went to bed though, and they were just playing games. And Big Brother now have to sound the alarm that it is already 6 a.m. and told all of them to get ready for their usual early morning exercise. But they did not go to the arena for them to do so, and there was no coach. They were asked to move to the garden and also help each other for them to do the exercise. After 1 hour, the exercise is done and dusted. They all moved into the lounge. But one thing is this: Big Suso, Doris, Ortega were in the kitchen. There was no crowd I didn't see Isabella, I didn't see Imisi, who argued that they must cook what they want, or maybe they are not ready for them to cook what they want. But they are in the kitchen, they're just getting ready to prepare breakfast. And Joris and Ortega were just peeling the Irish potato, whereas the entire housemate are just getting ready for the day. Remember that today is Monday. The head of the house, Jason J, is certainly going to defend the head of the house that he won, and that is when they are going to do the head of the house challenger. And I'm still waiting to see if Imisi is going to disobey the head of the house by going into the kitchen, and so is Isabella, or if they're just going to adhere to the instruction to go meet Ortega and Big Soso if they certainly want to just cook anything. Whatever that happens, be it ships, be it drama, be it fights, cuddling, or missing of the condom, yes, I am certainly going to bring that to you. If not, why not? Am I not still your favorite entertainer with entertaining entertainment? And my eyes are on Bright Morgan and Joanna. Even this morning, I saw Bright Morgan in the pool, whereas Joanna was beside him, and that was when Koyin joined them, and Koyin was just trying to explain. Camera now moved inside. The guys were already singing and entertaining every other person. I never knew that Koyin knows how to play flute. Well, I enjoyed their music section. I think there is calmness at the house, whereas they're just trying to get to know each other. Lots of conversation here and there. And I decided to just come and tell you guys, so first fight has happened last night. More to go, because they carry drama come, and once it happens, I am certainly going to come to narrate it to you guys. Therefore, see you guys in another video shortly, and please remember to subscribe if you are yet to do so, and most importantly and necessary, do not skip the ads. Thank you.